This video is made for an adult audience. Hey Brick fans, welcome back to the Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are half-baked. I'm Jacob and today it's time to put in some details in a diner in my LEGO city. In my last video, I started work on a diner for my LEGO city in the raised section, and I actually think it turned out pretty good. But you folks have given me a lot of great suggestions for it, and I'm going to look into some of those today, but mostly I will be detailing the interior of my diner in my LEGO city. But let's head over to Bakersville and see what this project is going to be all about. So here we are back at Bakersville, and this right here is the diner that I started work on last time. The diner is of course the bottom part, and up here we have the upper part. I had a great suggestion for what should actually be in the upper part. A hideout for crooks. It seemed so fitting when I heard it the first time, so I am gonna put in some stuff that crooks would have in their hideout right here to make it a little villain nest, if you will. Other than that, there were several suggestions on how to make this corner right here a little better, which I will be following. And there was also several who suggested that this door be made of a transparent piece. Now, I would love to do that, however, I simply don't have any more transparent doors. It's a shame. I agree it would look great if it was transparent. Eventually I might be able to switch something up somewhere and add a transparent door, but for now I don't have one. And as you folks might know, I'm all about trying to use the pieces I already have. So no going to Bricklink or anything like that to get one. Maybe I'll get one by coincidence if I buy a mixed lot at some point, but for now this will remain the door that is here. Just before we move on to the build section of today's video, I would like to say welcome to Macro Bricks. Now Macro Bricks is a keen supporter of my channel, and I'm very happy that he has sent me a sig fig for my city. Now he assures me that he is not a villain, he is merely a vigilante. So welcome to Macro Bricks. But without any further ado, let's move over to the building table and get started on modifying this building. Welcome back to the build table. Now you might be wondering, what is this doing right here? Now this I talked about the last time. I would be using parts of this, the diner, the seafood diner from the Hidden Side theme to modify my own diner, because there are a lot of great small builds here. Of course, signs like this and the sign up here are great. This shrimp sign can be used as well, and of course the kitchen inside can actually be used too. So things here can really easily, I think, be modified to fit my own little seafood diner for Bakersville. So that's why I have this one here, and it's why I built it. I'm not going to review it as such, but I will say I do like it, and I do like a lot of the small details that's in this. But without further ado, I think I'll be taking this apart and take out all the small parts I think I can use more or less directly. Alright, so I've taken out different parts that I think I can use directly. This shrimp shine is going to be great, I think, as a 3D sign for this diner as well. Of course, I have to de-ghost it, as Cass of Blockade UK calls it, because I don't want this creepy side anywhere near my diner, because my diner is not a creepy diner. It's a very nice seafood diner. Of course, this sign right here, I think this could go well as some kind of interior decoration. Yeah, just to have it inside somewhere. Of course, this sign is great. This diner sign right here as an exterior design as well. I wonder if I could do something that's very much like what's on the seafood diner already, or maybe separate them out in some way, shape or form. Of course, I have also removed the kitchen. This will have to be modified down to only be 1 stud wide because of the space limitations that are in my seafood diner over here behind all this. Of course, there are other parts of the kitchen that I've taken out as well. And there's this, I think this is some kind of soda can machine, something like that. It used to be outside the seafood diner in the hidden side set. So I'm thinking maybe this could be outside my diner as well, because I think that would look great. Then I do have an idea of how I might be able to use this tree, but other than that, yeah, this is all the stuff I think I can use sort of directly. All the other things will have to be something that I make myself. So yeah, without further ado, I think I will get on with some of this. And here we go. I've added some of the details of the seafood diner. We have the diner sign right here over the door. I like that. And this 24-hour open sign, which I like very much. And I've actually given it the ability to turn like this. However, I don't have a yellow plate of these. There used to be this eye right here. So I changed that for a black one. But that'll have to do. I like this though, so that's very good. And I also added the small soda machine right here because I think that looks rather neat. So that gives it a good sort of overall feel. Now I think I will be I'll try to add this. Part of me thinks already that it might be a bit too big, but other than that, I do like the design and I do like 3D signs overall. So adding it will be something I will be testing out. So we'll see how this turns out. But first, I've got to de-ghost it. There we go, it has been de-ghosted. It is almost identical on both sides. One difference is this one right here. This one is circular and not half round like the others, but other than that, it is completely the same. And now I'd like to attach it right here, and I'll just have to figure out how to do that. There we go. If you wonder how I did this, what I did was I changed this part around back here. This part looked like this part before with one of these slope pieces over it, and I removed half of it and added this piece here instead. And then I put a small headlight brick because they have a hole in the back which matches a stud, and then I just added the stud into that like this, and you have your sign placed right here on the corner like this. And I actually think this looks rather good. Now if you are wondering how I added this down here, well, that's even simpler. I just put a single stud brick or plate on top of one of these short connecting pins from the Technic line. So adding this on top made it possible for me to mount this underneath the plate like this, and you have a sign like this that can be placed like this. So very, very simple little trick. The next thing I will be looking at is the interior of this design. And of course, I will also have to do something about this backyard or whatever it is here. Maybe adding some trash cans or something back here would look good. But first of all, I think I will be working on the interior for this little diner. So the first part of actually arranging the interior here is adding this rounded piece underneath the rounded window. And what I've done is I've made a small sort of triangular shape here with tiles and made some of these supporting plates underneath all the walls, protrude just one stud both here and here. So they will actually keep or hold this piece in place like this. And I can add these tiles up here to sort of lock everything down. And then I have this wonderfully smooth transition from the sidewalk and to the rounded part like this. Now, of course, there are still some parts of the tiles showing in here, but that is how it's gonna be. I don't think I could do this much more smoothly. But now I move on to making the kitchen and the seating arrangement right inside. So here we are. The interior is taking shape very well. I think you can really see it if we look from up here. There's the checkered floor down there, and of course some tables right here. Now I think it's supposed to be that they have to stand around these tables. I just used these barrels here as tables, and of course we have the small counter here, and of course the kitchen over here where the owner of the diner can prepare all his seafood. Of course, you can see the seafood sign right here, says fresh seafood, which is a great commercial, and it is visible as soon as you come in the door. So the first thing you see is fresh seafood when you come inside. Now I just need to tile the remainder of the floor down here, and of course place a few minifigs in here to sort of liven up everything. And here we go, the final interior. Kitchen over here, some hanging pots and pans, this must be a milkshake machine or maybe an ice machine or something like that. Setup, ketchup, small canned soda, and of course our waiter walking around out here, the cook cooking it up in the kitchen with a big fish. Of course it is seafood, and yeah, other small details like that. I am pretty satisfied with this interior. Now I will be adding, of course, this exterior part of the build, and everything unfortunately gets hidden just a little bit. One last detail I have added, which I will show you in just a second, is a customer who doesn't seem to be too satisfied. It's this guy right here. He seems to be making an expression that seems to be less than satisfied, and he is of course running out of the diner full speed as he has just eaten something that he definitely did not like. So he's on his way out to see other things. Yeah, so that's the interior for the bottom floor. I will finish this wall and then we will continue with the upper floor. Of course, when you add small details on the inside of a build like this and they actually employ parts of the wall, that means you're going to have small areas like this which doesn't really match the pattern you've started out with. So when you start building something new, you have to take into account that it has to cover up something like this. Now it's not going to be a problem for this build because of course I will be adding something here, and that could be as deep as I wanted to, as long as it goes all the way out here to some degree. So yeah, that is something you really have to consider when you build stuff like this. But other than that, it's a great way to make your stuff take up less room, because now this kitchen only takes up one stud in width and you have a lot more space inside, which is great. Another detail I added was this little chimney here. Of course, it might not be placed the most logical spot, but that's actually the only place it can actually be. So that's why it's there. So now I will be moving on to the top floor. The problem with building an interior for a floor like this is that you, dear viewers, are not going to be able to see inside what's actually going on. So what I will be doing is I'll be taking all this off, then build the interior and then add this back on again, because that's simply the easiest way to show you folks what I'm going to do in here. There was also some suggestions that I move one row of bricks down here, because if not, the minifigures wouldn't be able to look outside. Now I partly agree with that, and I partly don't. First of all, I do like the symmetry that this provides. 2 bricks below and 2 bricks above. That looks great. But of course, back here it is just 2 bricks below and 1 brick above. So yeah, I could probably remove 1 row here and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. Where it would be making a difference is out here on the front, where we have this symmetry going again with 2 on the bottom and 2 on top. So I'll be taking all this off, hopefully in one big piece, and building the inside. And while I do that, I will be sort of considering whether or not I should be removing 1 layer of bricks down here as well. Success! I removed this in one piece. I'm pretty satisfied with that because that makes everything a lot easier. So here we go with the interior. So here we go. This is the interior for the upper floor. And as you can see, I've tried to go for sort of a Beagle Boys aesthetic. Now there's a box back here with a lot of tools in that can be used for digging when you want to dig your way out of prison, for instance, help one of your friends in there, one of your brothers maybe. And here a triple decker bed, because in the original Beagle Boys there were 3 robbers. Were they robbers? Yeah, they usually try to rob Uncle Scrooge, so that's of course what it is. And there's a table. I think this is an old pallet that they used for a table with a cell phone, a pizza box, some uneaten pizza, and a couple of sodas right here. And of course, there's a safe over here for all their ill-gotten gains. Oops, just show you a bit more closely what that looks like. Couple of panel pieces on each side, giving it this slightly cartoonish look. A snot brick in here and a jumper plate right here with a small little, I don't know what this is, handle wheel thing on it, and of course just place it right here. So yeah, now I just need 3 minifigures to place in here to sort of complete the Beagle Boys aesthetic. So just give me a second. So here we go, the Bakersville version of the Beagle Boys. Now, I do know that they usually have red shirts, but I simply didn't have enough red shirts to do that. So I thought this aesthetic was actually kind of neat because it had that cartoonish look to it with the hats and the matching pants. But then again, just a dab of realism with these shirts right here. Of course, not very realistic that a thief or a robber or whatever they are would actually walk around in their prisoner suits. But I think this aesthetic fits very nicely with what I am trying to attempt here. So yeah, I'll be adding these in, and we can get back to actually putting the floor back together. And here they are, arguing about who gets to be top bunk and who has to be on the bottom. I think that's something that would be very fitting for our Beagle Boys. Now, on we go, putting in the walls again, and I will be removing the lower layer of bricks as was suggested by several of my wonderful viewers. So here we are. I've removed the lower level, or the lowest row of bricks down here, and to be honest, it's fine by me. I don't see the big difference, to be honest, but some feel that this matches the existing floor heights of the official modular buildings. Now, of course, the official modular buildings are wonderful, but I am progressing towards removing all of them from my LEGO city, so I don't think that's too important. But I do agree that matching to some extent the original sort of standards is a good idea, because then I could take this somewhere and add it to other cities, sort of in a display or something, and it wouldn't look too much out of place. So it is a good idea, and yeah, I'm happy to have done it. So back to the last part of this, which is adding all the decoration back in for the diner and putting in this on top of the lower floor. One last detail before I put this back in the city. I want to add some tiles here just to give it sort of a backyard feel, and maybe some trash cans and such, which I think would look rather cool. And of course I added in a small cat right here, a couple of trash cans as well, so it does look like sort of a backyard. I could of course put something in the trash can here because it doesn't have a lid. Don't know, maybe this could be here as well. Oh, maybe that's too much. But anyway, oh, how about a trash fish? That sounds good. So yeah, that is the seafood diner as it looks right now. I will be adding this back into the city and we can see how it looks over there. So yeah, let's get over there and check it out. So here we go. Let's put back in this new and improved diner building with a new interior and a few new details on the exterior as well. Here we go. Here we are, the usual second angle. Now I do agree there is a sticker there. I should probably remove that at some point, but I left it there because I wasn't sure what to do with the sticker. Maybe I want to keep it, but I do think it looks very nice with the interior made up. Of course, adding a little more detail on the outside would probably go a long way to really add some life. Some more minifigures, for instance, would probably look good. Let's place a musician right here. Seems like he's doing great, and maybe he has a friend and they like to play guitar on the street. This one really rocking out. So yeah, there's plenty to do still, of course, in the entire city, and many, if not all my custom buildings. Yeah, most of my custom buildings still need interiors, but other than that, I think this looks good. This is a great start to that project of making interiors everywhere. And I just added in a final little detail, this right here, a small air conditioning unit, because it always adds just a little extra something to your build. So yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied for now. So I'll go back to me and say thank you for watching. Today I built an interior for my seafood diner, which I lifted more or less directly from the hidden side diner. Of course, I did modify a lot of it, and other things I just lifted directly. And I think that's an interesting way to work with it. I know a lot of people do stuff like that, and I do like it because you get a lot of great details for your own mocks and a lot of great ideas on how to do stuff. So that's a great idea. I also tried to build an interior for the Crook's hideout on the first floor of my little diner build, and I think that turned out quite all right. I like playing around with the Beagle Boys aesthetic, which I find kind of funny. I am a huge fan of Uncle Scrooge and all those characters, so that was right up my alley. Of course, if you have any kinds of suggestions, ideas, or just something that you want me to know, please let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to hear all about it. Next time, I think I will start building something next to the diner, but I'm not quite sure what yet. If you have any suggestions for that, you can also let me know in the comments below. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you guys next Monday.